Alright guys, bit of important maintenance I haven't showed you yet. How's everyone going? I hope you're going well. Please put in the comments, how are we all? Bit of maintenance while we're doing an injector job on a 150 Prado, and this doesn't matter it's a Prado or a Hilux or a Land Cruiser or any other make or model of vehicle, right? The problem is parking under trees, debris, leaves and everything that rots away and causes blockages, leaks in your car and rust and stuff like that. Now, I gave this, there's a trim that goes at the bottom of the windscreen, you know, along here normally, sort of thing, and I gave it was piled with leaves and debris and whatever. So it was nice and clean before we took it out, but I want to show you what's underneath there. And this is, let's just say this is a typical one, you know, there's better ones, there's worse ones and all that, right? So you can just see, it'd give you an idea of, see the dirt and debris that just sort of sit under the plastic trims. That's just at the edge of the windscreen. That's your intake for your, you know, when you got it on fresh recirculate. Because it's on recirculate, that flap's closed, right? Just to give you a little bit of extra information, that flap there, that's what blocks the air from coming in when it's on recirculate. Otherwise that would be open. So if you go in deep water and you get it over your windscreen, it runs down the plastic. Then it obviously runs through the holes and it goes down into this area down in here. And that's why there's that barrier around the edges of that air intake. So hopefully that doesn't get higher than that. Otherwise, yes, you'll have water coming out your vents. But what happens in a lot of vehicles, and it's not specifically a problem with Prados or anything like that, but obviously all the debris, right, they get down into places like, so down there there's some holes, and any water and whatever's meant to drain out, and that's, you know, when you wash the car and you've got water leaking out, it just seems to keep leaking out really slowly forever and ever and ever from, excuse me, from behind the front wheel or something like that, right? That's probably because this is blocked with, you know, mud, dirt, leaves and debris. Now, what happens with all these sorts of debris, you know, it breaks down and where does it go back to? Where it came from, mate, in the air and in the ground, you know, everything goes back to the ground. Everything came from the earth and it's going to end up back there, right? So that's where it's headed, but it breaks down, it turns into mud. Let's just have a look. We'll go along the other side as well in a minute, but I just want to get down there and show you, right? Now, so this is my recommendation. If you park in a sort of leafy area under these trees, that sort of thing, under trees and debris and all this, and you come out in the morning and you see leaves and stuff sitting on your windscreen, before you rush off and jump in your car, spend 10 to 20 seconds and take all those leaves, brush them off, blow them off, whatever you want to do. If you can see leaves on the bottom, anywhere on your car really, but you know, you get the picture, right? Basically, yeah, you need to just clear that off. Now, you can see there's some more over there. So what happens is it's going to create some rust, okay? It's going to also block up those drain holes. So when you do that river crossing and it goes over the bonnet momentarily and hits the windscreen and it runs down in here, it's actually going to fill up in there or drain really slowly, like a blocked sink, you know, when you sink at home and everyone's only putting the bloody hair down the sink or something. Blame the girls in it. You know, we're about 97% male anyway. Sorry girls, but you know what? Don't put your hair down the sink, right? So similar sort of thing. So hopefully everyone can have a bit of a laugh. Let's go over this side and have a look. Right, so it was all clean underneath, but look at this, right? So just to give you an idea, look at this. Right, that's just where we lifted the trim off. Obviously some of it pulls down. We're going to give it a little clean up, but same thing right over this side. And it gets to places where you can't get in there to clean it out, which is why it's best done, kept clean as prevention, guys. Do it as prevention, right? So you can see along there, not too much. That's your windscreen wiper motor, if anyone that's interested, right? So obviously that's, and that motor turns one way, the way the mechanisms work, and it just constantly goes around and around and around. This is where it's all happening under here. So if you ever need to change your wiper motor, which on a Toyota, I've never done one. I've never had a problem with one of these. So on other cars, yes, absolutely, many years ago. Right, but just the key is keep all that clean. But if you didn't know about this, right? If you didn't know about this, then you sort of like go, okay, so what do I do now? Well, these two side trims, this is on a 150 Prado, so I'll give you some specific information to 150 Prado that a lot of vehicles very similar. These trims at the side here, they just sort of lift up here and pop out this way, and it slides off. So when you put it back on, you've got to slide it over that first, sort of just sits in, and they come off before and go back on last, but they come off before you take this bottom trim off. There's a big black bottom trim. It's obviously not there at the moment. There's a clip at each side that goes down here in this hole here, right there. They're kind of a bit useless. You could probably not bother putting them back. They're quite difficult to get. Back in. You don't need them. At the end of the day, I wouldn't really worry about putting those back. We do, of course, because we put things back how they were. The trim also centralizes using that middle clip hole there. There's a little divot that goes in there, and then you've got 3 clips each side. 1, 2, 3. Easiest way is you get a flat blade and you stick it underneath here, there, and you just gently lift up from the side, and it just comes up. So what else can I tell you about it? So fairly easy. You need to take your windscreen wipers off first. Fairly easy as well. You just pop the clips off under the 14mm nut. You do that before you open the bonnet. Once you've got those out of the way, whatever you do, don't let them go and let them hit the windscreen. You can give all this area a clean up. You know those yellow cloths we talk about? You get I think it's a 20 pack or something like that for about 20 or 30 bucks in Costco. You can get whatever you want. I just really like the Costco ones, whatever. I don't go to Costco, but someone I know does, and I think, you know what, the bag he got me about 6 or 7 years ago, we split it, we went halvies, mate, 10 bucks each, and I think they're still going. So they last you a lifetime. They really do. They last a long time. They're really absorbent. They clean up really well. Get in there, clean this out, and make sure it's draining properly so the vehicle can function the way it's meant to and help prevent that rust. Although, being a Toyota in this case, it's probably not going to rust, probably nothing to worry about. Anyway, unless I think of something else, I think it's a bada bing, bada boom. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you got something out of that. Give us a thumbs up. What else can I tell you while we're here? I think that's it. Subscribe, turn the bell on if you want to see information like injector replacement jobs, what's going on here. We've got some of those in shorter versions, but mainly in our VIP group, which you get into once you're a client. It's a client group, a loyalty group. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We're out of here. See ya.